Today on the Topping Show, White House at Christmas video is roasted for their gender-fluid actors in seemingly drug-induced costumes. Vivek on birthright citizenship goes viral, while DeSantis War Room highlights Nikki Haley sounding like a Democrat. Anheuser-Busch Natural Light tweet gets 47 measly likes. Rivian secures a deal with AT&T. GM to lay off 1,300 employees as Mary Barra, the CEO, kills a Chevrolet Camaro. And Southwest Airlines is roasted for giving passengers a free second seat if they are morbidly obese. All of that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's a joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of December, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Rivian signing a deal with AT&T. Now, this is pretty darn important, since one of the best things about aggregation of sales is it's much easier to sell one contract with a big company that'll buy thousands of vehicles than thousands of individual one-on-one sales. So that's why when you see a lot of these companies, fleet deals are huge. That was one of the biggest fuels for the big three, especially their General Motors. When you can't help but notice, every time you go to a rental car company, they have many of their vehicles because those vehicles are huge in volume. Now, this helped Rivian stock bump up quite a bit, and they are, fascinatingly enough, they're still around. So they are one of the few EV companies that actually got to the point where they made a physical product. Rest in peace, Lordstown EV. And their stock price is around $22.59 per share. Now, excuse me, not feeling the best, but persistence is key, so power through. Now, overall, they're not doing great overall. Now, their max stock is down negative 82.6%, also known as not very good. Now, their IPO, which is why I always say the best thing you do in terms of gambling is gamble on yourself, though some people do prefer the stock market. With IPOs, a lot of the time they're overvalued, which is why many, not all the times, when you have an IPO, the first couple of days, the stock goes down. There's also a lot of people who sell their stock because that's how they compensate. But nevertheless, looks like they IPO'd around $129.95 per share. Now, their 5-year trend is down negative 82.63%. Now, the past 1-year trend is actually down negative only 5.8%, so not as bad as a 5-year trend. Year to date, their stock is up by positive 30.22%. In the past 6 months, their stock has nearly doubled, going up by 48.29%. In the past month, it's up 31%. Past 5 days, it's up 18.19%. And a big bump that fueled the recent stock increase was their contract with AT&T. Now, this news is breaking thanks to good old OG news. Yahoo, which great business blunder of the century, they could have made $40-something billion by selling to Microsoft, but they thought, nah, that's undervalued. They were subsequently sold for less than 10% of that, I believe, to Verizon, and they've been bought and sold a couple times since. Now, this is specifically thanks to a writer by the name of Pras Sabrarian, and they noted that Rivian will exclusively use AT&T's wireless network to power its internet connectivity, while they will also provide vehicles for AT&T. Now, it looks like they unveiled a deal in which the telecom giant will purchase Rivian vans and the R1 vehicles for its commercial fleet. AT&T says that the vehicles will be purchased through a pilot program aimed at cutting transportation vehicle emissions. Well, except for, the big emissions where you actually have to mine the lithium and actually power the vehicles. But nevertheless, it looks good on paper. Sounds fancy. Now, Rivian also declined to provide the number of vehicles AT&T will purchase, nor would it outline its financial impact of the deal. Which goes to show you how crazy the stock market can be. We don't know the specifics of this deal. We just know there is a deal. It exists. We don't know how many vehicles they actually will buy or commit to buying, but this does mark the first big contract they've won since they lost their exclusivity with Amazon. So that's why you saw all these Amazon vehicles. They were all Rivian. Rivian had for the vehicle, specifically the Rivian little van, well, that was an agreement where Amazon got some exclusivity for a while. I suspect partially for being a big investor in the company in and of itself. Now, when asked for comment, AT&T Hardman Williams, who's a Connected Solutions vice president, said, quote, "We are excited to purchase Rivian EVs for our fleet. This pilot is another important step in our ongoing efforts towards sustainability, reducing our carbon footprint, and embracing a cleaner future for our operations," unquote. Then they go into how much CO2 is emitted, blah, 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 with these vans. Now, Rivian also says they still plan to build 100,000 delivery vans for Amazon per an earlier agreement. They've already delivered 10,000 trucks to them, or they keep interchanging these vernaculars. It's not the trucks that you and I can buy, it's the actual vans. The ones that look aesthetically ugly as hell, but I guess some people might like it. Now, in addition to the fleet purchase, Rivian and AT&T will announce that AT&T will be Rivian's exclusive provider for internet connectivity for all Rivian commercial vehicles in the U.S. and Canada. Rivian said it'll use AT&T wireless network to deliver over-the-air updates to its vehicles in the field as well. So that sales rep at AT&T is, I'm pretty darn sure, happy as can be, since they just got the sale for all of those vehicles. Though knowing corporate America, that sales rep probably got screwed over, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting to see, because now the detriment to the consumer in some cases, well, AT&T doesn't have the best reception in every place in the U.S. That's why some people prefer Verizon or T-Mobile, or the 18 people who like Ryan Reynolds will buy Mint Mobile. Well, they subsequently, I believe, are also selling to T-Mobile. But nevertheless, certain providers have different carrier capabilities. They have certain better reception in different areas. So, I mean, this is a big win for AT&T. It's a huge client. They get the PR from the people who love EVs. But it'll be interesting to see what's the end result, fiscally speaking, out of the company. And it'll be interesting to see how beneficial it really is, and if it really is a mutual beneficial agreement. Again, we don't know the scope about it. I suspect later we'll have some more details, since, again, they're both publicly traded companies. They have their 10Ks. But we'll see if we're allowed to know the specifics. But this is a big fleet contract for them. And who knows, maybe this will inspire some sales? It'll be interesting to see, but as I normally say, time shall tell. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of December, so if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to give me some feedback and let me know what I could be doing better to improve the quality of the show. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.